You're going to have a worker ID card that we control to even have a job. This has all been announced by Ridge, again, almost 9 years ago. Now they're trying to roll it out. Hemispheric travel ID, now out for 3 years. It's just all being flaunted. And I've heard police chiefs who aren't under federal control, state police, I've even heard in Texas complaining on the news saying, yeah, a state police officer can't pull somebody over without an emergency probable cause that they've got a weapon, and they feel threatened and can't put their hands down their pants. I mean, you've got to have probable cause. You've got to have an emergency situation. How do they just herd you in and do this? How are the feds declaring jurisdiction over first airports as training centers to train their own people to accept it, the police to accept it, and the local jurisdiction, the public to accept it? How do you get away with this? They just do it. How do they put you in an unapproved radiation booth? They just do it. And now they've been caught coast to coast robbing people. What type of folks do you think want a job sticking their hands down people's pants, pulling women's blouses off, doing this? Control freaks. And they recruit and promote the control freaks to the highest level. I've talked to people in TSA in Austin. I've talked to airport administrators. I've talked to multiple people, 3 actually, in the last 6-7 years, high up inside the Austin-Bergstrom International Airport system. And they say that the head TSA people there are the worst. And they're the people who like to harass the women that work there. They're the people who like to harass the workers and the pilots. They're the people that are on power trips. The worst type of control freaks get empowered and turned loose in a tyranny. They get to decide what goes on the media, just like East Germany. They get to decide how you can travel, where you can go. They get to give jobs to their family. This is a new class system being developed. The government class, the political class that serves the offshore mega banks that are looting the entire planet and waging war against prosperity because they want you broke back and subservient and destitute under their control. But here's the good news. All over the country, hundreds of cities, scores of states, governors, like Ventura, former governors suing. The people are rising up. They admit tens of billions a year, and it's accelerating, is being lost in tourism. Last year, the heads of the tourism associations, the hotel associations, the travel associations said, you are killing us. Europeans won't come here. They won't go through this. Europeans are boycotting in Europe where they're trying to put it in. This is slave training. The pilots have refused to fly. They filed suits. And the TSA said, okay, we'll quit groping you, but not the public. See, we all think of civil rights as black people versus white people. The real 21st century civil rights is the insurance companies write the health care legislation written by the insurance companies. Wall Street Journal admitted that. The head of the consortium, the head lobbyist for the consortium of the health care industry and the insurance companies. I read this probably 6 months ago on air. I was at an airport and read it. I mean, I'd seen it elsewhere, but there were the admissions right there in the news article. And they wrote it to make 35 million people get insurance, to then let the insurance companies, through government regulators they control, lower the standard and quality of care, taking doctors and nurses out of the medical decision equation, literally setting up the death panels. Newsweek came out with the case for killing Granny with an image of a plug pulled out of the wall next to a gurney. Bill Gates said, yeah, it's death panels. We can hire 10 teachers if we kill Granny. That's the collectivist model. They start cutting the resources, creating artificial scarcity, and then telling people, take something from somebody else and you'll get ahead in the government class. It's divide and conquer. He who has the gold makes the rule. And real civil rights is saying you're not allowed to give thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of waivers to McDonald's and other Fortune 500 companies to not have to get insurance, but all their competitors do. That's economic discrimination. What do you think they did against blacks in this country or Native Americans? That's the first form. That's the type of issues. But everybody's looking for black and white to fight with each other or vice versa instead of real civil rights violations, or all of us being trained to have strangers stick their hands not just down our pants but our children's pants. Normalizing it. Roasting us in radiation chambers. All of this. So here's the good news. This is out of the Washington Times editorial, Groping for a TSA Solution. And this is a Washington Times issued article, meaning it's the editorial board. The Transportation Security Administration, TSA, hoped it could avoid public revolt over its intrusive airport security measures by dialing back operations while security was at its peak over Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays. See, they always apply the pressure. If you don't resist, they squeeze more. When you fight back, they back off. That's classic warfare tactics. They didn't stop. More than a dozen federal lawsuits that have since been filed against the agency by airline pilots and former governor, among others. State lawmakers are also looking for change. Yeah, in Texas, you name it. A near unanimous Alaska legislature last week transmitted to the governor and Congress an official complaint that overzealous Transportation Security Administration employees have carried out the new procedures in a manner sufficiently aggressive to raise the level of an inappropriate invasion of personal privacy for an individual would ordinarily be protected under the laws of Alaska. The non-binding resolution urges Congress to crack down on TSA bureaucracy. But see, they're charged by the unelected Homeland Security system that won't even give Congress documents, and a president who doesn't even get a authorization of force from Congress, who follows UN orders. This is about administrative law, where if possession is 9/10, and if they can trample our rights and usurp them, they're gone. In law, you must defend every square inch of your liberty. A House Oversight Committee last week began to put pressure on TSA officials, you mean a gaggle of crooks getting money from the body scanners companies, who initially balked. See, they tried to just bluster like con artists and act like we were crazy, balked at an invitation to testify. Before the tardy bureaucrats arrived, Representative John L. Micah, see, they showed up late, it's part of their arrogance, Florida Republican, blasted the agency for the indiscriminate use of pornographic whole-body imaging scanners, saying a 7th grader could end up with a better plan for developing and utilizing this equipment. Former Minnesota Governor Jesse Ventura wants to take the fight directly to Homeland Security Janet Napolitano. The easily recognizable Mr. Ventura flies several times a week and is subject to automatic enhanced screening. Yeah, they grab his genitals because he has a titanium hip implant that sets off the metal detector every time he walks through, and it just goes on from there. This should be a no-brainer. Groping small children, grandmothers, and former professional wrestlers does nothing to make this country more secure. It makes the globalists more secure to break our will and train us for prison induction. That's all this is, prison induction. Federal lawmakers need to do more to hold this rogue agency accountable. It's not rogue. The entire bureaucracy, the entire Homeland Security system was started out of the omnibus crime bill based on the federal government bombing Oklahoma City. This is a criminal, illegitimate group of hijackers masquerading as government, waging internal warfare against the people. Read the Declaration of Independence. It's a replay of that and more.
If you suffer from poor sleep, you need MyPillow. Guaranteed to be the most comfortable pillow you will ever own. Using a patented fill, MyPillow adjusts to your exact individual needs by gently supporting your head, shoulders, and neck. MyPillow has a natural built-in cooling effect, keeping your cervical nerves cool, giving you the best sleep of your life. MyPillow will never go flat and relieves snoring, migraines, sleep apnea, fibromyalgia, and many other disorders. It's antimicrobial, non-allergenic, dust mite resistant, and best of all, machine washable and dryable. MyPillow is made in the USA, has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau, comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee and an industry-leading 10-year warranty. Order today at MyPillow.com or call 952-442-6199. That's 952-442-6199. Mention coupon code GCN and receive 20% off your order. What do you have to lose except poor sleep? MyPillow.com, the most comfortable pillow you will ever own, guaranteed.
This is an urgent message. Urgent if you care about feeding your family. S510 has passed through Congress and will make the sale of heirloom seeds difficult. Prices of non-GMO seeds are skyrocketing and may be hard to afford in the future, if you can even find them. As the economy continues to decline, this will make the heirloom seeds worth their weight in gold and one of the best barter tools available. When food supplies eventually run out, your solution is to grow your own food and barter tool. Now, for a short time, GetSeeds.net offers 100 packets of heirloom non-GMO vegetable seeds for only $59. Pay with 2 ounces of pure silver or just $59. The best price on the net for high-quality seeds. Our GetSeeds.net seeds are open pollinated vegetable seeds sealed in a Mylar bag for long-term storage. Bulk pricing available, so get seeds while you still can at GetSeeds.net or call toll-free 877-341-4769. That's 877-341-4769.
America, you've been warned. For weeks, we've been warning you about a single event we believe will happen in the next 12 months that will shake the very foundations of our nation. We've told you about the video that details this shocking prediction. So far, over 6 million people have watched this free video online. Have you? Again, this big event has nothing to do with war or the stock market, yet it could change everything about your normal way of life. The way you shop, travel, invest, educate your children, and even how you take care of your health and your family. Could this really happen? Well, the man who created this video has been right about many predictions in his career. He was among the first to predict the collapse of GM, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and America's biggest mall owner, General Growth Properties. In fact, Barron's called his work a dire prophecy. If you haven't taken time to watch this free video, do it right now. You may never think about America the same way again. You can find the free video at endofamerica3.com. Again, that's www.endofamerica3.com. Watch the free video at endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica3.com.
You know your gear can make the difference between a good day and a really bad day. It's time to prepare, and quality gear from emgear.net is the critical factor for surviving in the toughest conditions. You'll find only the best gear from quality manufacturers at emgear.net, like Maxpedition hard-use gear, Everly stock backpacks, Snug Pack sleeping bags, SE knives, Ultimate Survival fire starters, waterproof bags, adventure medical kits, Surefire flashlights, and tactical gear from SoTech, Spec Ops, Tactical Tailor, and more. Our staff knows the gear inside and out and will answer all your questions. emgear.net always treats you with first-class customer service, affordable pricing, and a low $5.95 flat rate domestic shipping fee no matter the size of your order. And emgear.net stocks what we sell in our warehouse and never drop ships any orders. Call 678-455-5850. That's 678-455-5850. Or see our complete line at emgear.net. For tactical, survival, and everyday carry, choose emgear.net. Tough, rugged, reliable.
Okay, I'm going to shift gears now into other news, but I cannot stress it enough that the social engineers in control of our society are attempting to radically revolutionize our society into one of open tyranny, selling it under the guise of so-called security. And as Benjamin Franklin said best, those that give up their liberties for supposed security deserve and will get neither. You will not get liberty, you will not get security when you allow tyranny to grow. Tyranny is a disease that every society, every empire, every country gets. It is the norm. It's like if you live long enough, you're going to get heart disease or cancer. And very few countries or republics have ever gone past 200 years. 235 years is about as old as a system gets. And, of course, we're 235 years old.